Welcome back people to another YouTube video. Time is 1:30 and what I want to focus today is a bit more of an educational value approach as opposed to last video where we focused on a full day of eating, giving you a bit of an insight into me and how I eat. Now I want to talk about this beauty today and I'm talking about the book, not me. But anyway, this book right here is essentially a logbook. Now within sort of like the fitness industry, it's a 50-50 thing. I know a lot of people that use it, but then I also know a lot of people, a lot of very famous bodybuilders, revolutionary bodybuilders that didn't use a logbook. Now the reason for the logbook is for a pivotal element of any coaching, of any progressional element, which is accountability. Now your accountability simply allows you, it's basically being in charge of your shit basically. It's how you manage your time, it's how you track certain variables within your training, which therefore allows you to continue moving forwards within your progress. So this logbook, it's a tool which tracks your training. So the idea with a logbook is you're writing down and it makes it easier to apply progressive overload, which we know is one of the biggest drivers for mechanical tension and hypertrophy, because we're consistently overloading a muscle group, therefore consistently forcing it to get bigger and stronger. Now, your memory, there's people that will remember how much they lift, but I like to track over sort of like training cycles, over training blocks with both myself and clients, and it makes it hard if you're just going off sort of like a rule of thumb. How are you meant to know how much you lifted on week 1 versus week 8 to the 0.5 of a kilo? So by using a logbook, all we do is we're simply literally just writing down exactly how much we lift. Now I'm gonna go hit pull today, see what it's like for filming. It may be a little bit tricky simply because it's a commercial gym, and believe me, for those that train at commercial gyms, you'll know how busy it gets. But anyway, logbook, I am going to go train pull today, so I'm going to run you through how I set my logbook up, how I will set it up for a training session, and how I will therefore aim to progress it. So I highly recommend using it, especially if you're new to training, or even especially if you're like, you're going into a prep. Because if you're going into a prep, you're able to see your numbers as opposed to in prep, where they may see a change, or if you're able to manage variables, potentially maintain, go up, as opposed to your peak off season where strength is at its all-time highest. Flipping that on the contrary to being a newbie in the gym, by using a logbook, this is what I use within clients, whether it be online or PT, I'm able to track and collect data which allows me to progress my clients further because I know how much they're lifting, and I'm able to say, right, I want you to lift X amount of weight for Y amount of reps, therefore equaling progression, therefore equaling them getting results, me being a happy coach, them being a happy client. So the logbook, in my opinion, is not only a pivotal but one of the most important variables of tracking progression and being accountable for your actions. And the more accountable you are, the idea is that you can essentially have the power to turn your body into a function machine, and then you can know that if you put this amount of in, you're going to get this out. So it's the idea of implementing something and getting a result out, getting a behavioural cue out. So I'm going to catch you guys and show you how I set up my logbook. Okay guys, so here we have the logbook. Now I hope you can read my writing, but essentially this is what an ideal pull day would look like for me. Now all it is I write down all the exercises on the left hand side, as we can evidently see, and then from there, after the right line, we write down the numbers what we lift. So for example, I've just, like I said, referencing back to the previous video, I'm coming back from illness, so deadlifts and certain numbers aren't where they should be. So we are hoping to just match, maybe push on some numbers. So deadlifts, we're hoping for today 170 to 180 for a good set of 5 to 9. So all we'll do is we'll write that on the right side, and then from there, if we progress, we write in green ink. If we regress, we write in red ink. But I'll run you through that after today's pull session when I have the required data that I've acquired for today. Now in terms of programming my pull session, I always like to go for a compound, then a lat isolation, then we go into a row sort of compound where we target the mid/upper back, because I understand my body. Now this program works for me. I know that after months of training, this is what works for me, and I know that I can recover from this. So when programming your training, make sure that this is something that you're able to recover from and you're able to manage efficiently so that you're able to progress on the next session. Because say if you were to do my program and you're not able to recover from it, or if you do it and you feel that there is more to give, then you're in a position where you won't progress. So it's important to find out what movements work for you. I know that obviously when I program this pull session, for example, I know that, let me just find a page, I know that I will go in from a compound, so deadlifts, I know that my fatigue is managed okay, so I then go into a lat isolation movement. Then the aim is to target the mid/upper back because that's where I require a lot of thickness. So I'll go into a single arm row, and then we go into different variations. Now the D grips, what the D grips allow, or D handles, is they allow for a greater range of motion. When we have a greater range of motion, we can contract the muscle a lot better, therefore recruit a lot more fibres. When we are also using D handles, we reduce the loading on the joints. Now obviously I'm a naturally skinny guy, I'm not the biggest guy, I will be one of the biggest guys, but not yet. The idea with the D handles is that I have weak joints. When I especially curl, I get a lot of wrist pains, hence use of wrist wraps. So by using the D handles, I put less pressure on my joints because I'm allowing a rotation at the wrist joint, therefore reducing the total pressure. Now, as well as that, I just find it's a better connection. When I can connect with the muscle, again, I'm able to recruit more fibres, therefore allowing a greater growth potential. Now, we also have to consider lower back loading. Now, a deadlift is primarily going through flexion and extension of the lower spine or the erectors. That can accumulate a lot of fatigue because the erectors are responsible for a lot of stability in the overall body. So when I'm fatigued, I'm not going to want to fatigue the lower back anymore because then my ability to progress on the next movement will be highly reduced because fatigue is too high. So you'll notice a lot of the movements don't load the lower back anymore because I can progress deadlifts, but within a session I get tired, like I am blowing out my ass on deadlifts, so deadlifts will really get me tired. So I will do deadlifts and then everything else is either machine based or chest supported, because what I'm able to do then is still hit the back, but I'm not loading the lower spine in a free weight motion such as a T-bar row or a dumbbell row, because then I'd be able to do the movement for sure, but my ability to progress and apply progressive overload, I would not be able to get nowhere near as strong as I fully potentially would, because my spine, my lower back, my erectors are just too fried. So that is what this clever, efficient program. So that's how I set up my logbook, guys. Now I'm going to run you through my pre-workout choice for today, and I will see you guys either in the gym or after the gym. Pre-workout of choice for today. Now I was looking through and I was sort of sorting through all my pre-workouts, and I just realised how much I actually have, and I do have more upstairs as well. These are just my current favourites that I use. But nonetheless, today we're going to go for Nova Neuro Pump, which is a stim-free product from Innova Farm, more formally known and still available as original Nova Pump, but they added more juglans, I believe the ingredient is, and added a couple more ingredients in, hence the name Neuro. Unreal panel makes it a lot more better of a product, which you do notice. Couple new flavours as well, which does taste amazing. We have Mermaid Kisses there, and we're also going to go for, which we're going to go for, Reignite. Now this is Foresight Nutrition's own brand pre-workout. It's sort of like the sister brand of Insight, my sort of like sponsor team that I work with, and honestly, not even to just generally blow smoke, but even if you was to follow the page and take part in their polls, you'd realise that Reignite is fast up there with some of the top brands such as MVP. Reignite is really going to literally ignite the supplementation world. It is going to blow up. Foresight Nutrition is a brand that you do want to get behind. Now, one of my other videos, I'm due a monthly restock on pre-workouts at the end of the month, which I'm going to buy and get a load in. I'm going to do a video on identifying good pre-workouts versus bad, how to find ones that work for you, and dosages, what they do, running you through panels, and literally all things pre-workout I'm going to cover in an entirely new video. So I just wanted to run you through my stack, which is the Nova and the Reignite for today. So I'm going to go hit pull, guys, and I will catch you guys on the way back to review the session, how it went, and show you how essentially my logbook will look once I've got the required data. Just got back from the gym. Now obviously we had a client at my PT gym, so obviously we had to go from Streamline over to a different gym, so obviously we're a bit late home now. Time is 10:30, so pull session went good. Now obviously we didn't have flat shoes because I was stupid. I had my belt but we didn't have straps, so we just left deadlifts out. But ultimately speaking, I was due a rest anyway, simply because they're stalling a little bit and I'm sort of forcing overload when my body weight is not where it should be. Strength is very relevant to size, so I feel like when I put on more weight, I'll be able to shift greater amounts of load. But that will come, we'll sort of get to that bridge when we cross it. Now obviously, this whole video leads me on to another point, which is training at different gyms. Now obviously training at different gyms varies. What I recommend doing is obviously finding out what kit that gym has. Now obviously I used to work at Streamline, it was my old gym, I know what kit they have, so I made some variations. Kit was relatively the same, bar or pull downs. So overall the session went very well, but say if you were training a different city at a different place, then all you would do is try research or find a piece of kit or stick to the basics. If you're in a position where your program's very basic, then it's a win-win because you're going to be able to still progress the same movements. But if you are at a different gym, it's a one-off. Don't be afraid of making changes. So I'm just going to flip you around and show you today's logbook results. Now, you'll notice if that just focuses in, deadlifts we missed out because obviously we had no shoes or straps. Pull downs was okay. Now, different gym, different stacks, so the idea here is that different numbers. However, we managed, it was a lot of higher volume work today simply because it was busy. You know, commercial gyms, they are the best. So it was a session where stuff wasn't the best, it was just a good session today. But it's a one-off session where I'm not replicating this on a day-to-day basis. So we'll be back to next week training at Pure, progressing on movements. Chest supported T-bar row. Now Pure Gym doesn't have one of these, so it was good to get on a new piece of kit. Another benefit of training at new gyms, you get to try a new piece of kit, new stimulus for the body, try new movements, find what works, what doesn't work. So the idea here is you rate the session out of 10. Now that's another key piece of data because it allows me to see how I'm sort of progressing in sessions. If those sessions are consistently low, then I would change either the exercise rotation, how much volume I'm accumulating, and then from there we'll make changes allowing us to keep getting those ratings up. You can add in stuff like how much pre-workout you're taking, what body weight, who you trained with, so the more data you can collect, the better. So that wraps up today's video, guys. I gave you an insight into how I program my pull sessions, how to set up a logbook, so I hope that helped, and I'll see you guys for the next video.